You ever wonder why the perfect team on paper always seems to find a way to set itself on fire, just as things are getting good? Welcome to the Indiana Fever locker room, where the vibes just went from championship contenders to high school cafeteria drama in the blink of an eye. We aren't just talking about a missed rotation or a bad shooting night anymore. We're talking about a full-blown identity crisis. And it started with a clip that is currently ripping the fan base in half.
Kelsey Mitchell has found herself in some serious hot water in regards to Caitlin Clark and the fan base, man. It's Indiana Fever star Kelsey Mitchell making some comments about young players. The context of the conversation she had was definitely about Caitlin Clark celebrating her logo threes.
Imagine being the veteran. You've put in the years, you've taken the hits, and you've been the leading scorer on a team that nobody cared about for half a decade. Then, a generational superstar walks in, changes the gravity of the entire sport, and suddenly, you're the other person in the backcourt. That is the pressure cooker Kelsey Mitchell is living in right now. But her latest comments didn't just touch on that pressure. They poured gasoline on it. The clip going viral right now is cold. We're hearing talk about young players losing sight of what's important. We're hearing about people celebrating those deep logo threes while the other team is already down the court scoring. Now, you don't have to be a detective to realize there is only one person in the league who turned the logo three celebration into a global brand. When you take a shot at the young people for celebrating the very thing that put 10,000 more people in your arena every night, you aren't just talking about basketball. You're talking about a culture clash that might be irreparable. Let's be real. This isn't just a veteran giving tough love. This feels like a deep-seated resentment that has finally boiled over. While we see the rest of the roster, the ones who actually want to be there for the long haul, hanging out in Miami, supporting each other at off-season events, and building that chemistry that wins titles, there is a massive Mitchell-shaped hole in that circle.
We just seen the last season with her family making some comments online, and it looked like we have found it again, man. Really don't see Caitlin Clark hanging with Kelsey Mitchell outside of the team. We see Lexi Hall, Sophie Cunningham, and even KK. Not saying that she got to, you know what I'm saying, everybody go to work every day, and they may have coworkers that they ain't got nothing against, they just don't rock with them like that.
You see the superstar hanging with the defensive specialists and the post players, but the veteran guard? She's nowhere to be found. It started to feel less like we're just co-workers and more like we're counting down the days until free agency. And that's the spicy part of this whole disaster. This commentary isn't happening in a vacuum. It's happening right as the front office has to decide who gets the bag and who gets the boot. Mitchell is a free agent. She's looking for that supermax. But how do you give a record-breaking contract to someone who is publicly shading the person who made that contract possible?
And I hate it about the young people today. Like, you lose inside what's important. Like, you celebrated that three and they already done scored. And I hate it about the young people today. Like, you lose inside what's important. Like, you celebrated that three and they already done scored while you playing.
The Caitlin Clark effect didn't just bring the fans. It brought the revenue that is currently funding these massive salary cap jumps. If you're the Fever management, are you really going to lock yourselves into a multi-year deal with a veteran who seems to despise the very style of play that saved your franchise? The irony here is thick. The criticism is that the young people don't play defense. But if you actually look at the tape from last season, who was the one getting blown by on the perimeter? Who was the one struggling with rotations while the rookie was leading the team in blocks and steals from the guard position? It's a classic case of projecting. It's easier to complain about celebrations and young energy than it is to admit that the game has passed you by and your rookie teammate is already a better leader than you ever were. Fans are calling for a trade, and honestly, can you blame them? You have players like Lexi Hall who are giving 110% on every possession, playing with humility and doing the dirty work without ever asking for a spotlight. Then you have the veteran star who seems more concerned with policing how people celebrate than she is with actually fitting into the new era of Fever basketball. If the choice is between keeping the heart and soul players who embrace the superstar or the high-scoring veteran who wants to old head the locker room into a depression, the choice should be easy. This team is at crossroads. You can either build a dynasty around the most popular player in the history of the sport, or you can try to accommodate a veteran ego that is clearly bruised. The 2026 season was supposed to be the revenge tour, but right now, it's looking more like a farewell tour for anyone who isn't on board with the new program. You can't win a ring when your starting backcourt isn't even on speaking terms off the court. The Fever have $1 million problem, but the chemistry issue is priceless. If Mitchell wants out, this is exactly how you start the process, by alienating the fan base and the franchise savior in one breath. The question is, who blinks first? Does the front office cave and pay the veteran? Or do they realize that the future of Indiana basketball is far more important than one player's scoring average? If you want to stay updated on every single roster move and every bit of locker room tea as the Fever navigate this mess, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. This off-season is getting uglier by the day, and we're going to be here for every single second of it. Drop a comment below. Are you Team Mitchell or Team Trader now? Let's get into it.